justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
My name is Ashton P. Woods. Yep. I am a native of New Orleans, Louisiana, and I'm the founder. I am not a number. We are not a number. We've had to compete with each other during panels. We've been put against each other with our programming. Do you understand how that feels to be named as 67% or whatever number it was of people of color or presenters? But look at the audience. How many of us are there with you that are people of color or black? Look around. Black people, brown people, stand up if you can. Stand up. These are the people who deserve the attention. We have a president who is directly attacking us, and we are not taking space. We want board positions at Netroots. We want control over our programming. We will no longer be tokenized by so-called white allies who refuse to be accomplices. Accomplices throw themselves between us and harm, whether it be a police officer or an agitator, whether it be a racist or a troll. But you're not doing that. You know what you're doing at these tables? You're asking black attendees, do you belong here? This is a predominantly black city that was nearly destroyed and is coming back thanks to tourism like this. But most of us work in service industry and get talked to like dogs. And so when we come somewhere that we are supposed to be welcome, we are not supposed to be asked, what are you doing here? This is our time and we are taking up space. But my sister got something to say.
Go ahead and have a seat. Only stand up if you are from New Orleans.
Woo.
Look around you. Yeah, they did another round of applause, but look around you. I can count you on my hands.
Wow.
That's a problem. Why? Another question, how many of you are black? But I think another issue, we have the people here. But the only folks from New Orleans who are here are working the door. Were they invited into our panels? Did you invite them in? Or did you force them to ask us if we're wearing this badge when we walked in? Is being able to afford a badge what you need to come in and be able to speak your truth?
Wow.
Is that what you need?
Wow.
Or do we not possess value inherently? Are you saying that we're not worthy to come and speak at your space? Or is it only that we're worthy to come and speak at your space? We can come, we can say what you want us to say, and then we can go home because, oh wait, how did we get here? Did you pay for us to come? Are you paying us to speak? Or is this more like a plantation where we come up and we perform for you and then you go home to do what you have to do? Yeah, there's silence now. Netroots, you need to ask yourself, did you come here for progressive values? Or did you come here to listen to the mayor of New Orleans who has installed surveillance cameras? A $40 million surveillance plan brought to you by this very convention center. Did you know? Did you know when you came here that she was helping to surveil black and immigrant communities, that the New Orleans Police Department is sharing information with ICE, the Department of Homeland Security, the FBI? Did you know that we are being shipped out of this city in the hundreds because of these very surveillance cameras that you were paying for just by being here? You have to ask yourself, did you know when you got here that you perhaps were doing more harm than good? Did you know?
No.
Well, now you're here and you know. So what are you going to do about it? Next year at Netroots, are we going to have more people of color? Are we going to have more black folks? Are we going to have representation? Are we going to have actual people from the city to come to the conference? Yes! You can continue to keep paying and paying to come here. But folks like me, we don't get paid to come here. In fact, it's actually costing me money to be here because I've got to pay for the parking meter. I've got to pay to go eat around the corner that costs $20 for a sandwich. Did you know? Are you comfortable in your seats? So next year at Netroots, think about it. I know it's in Philadelphia, it's a great city, but it's also a very black city, a city with lots of people of color. Are you going to contribute? Are you actually going to go see the city and the culture of the city? Or are you going to stay down here, stay in the convention center or wherever it's being held, and have your servitude? Because that's what's been happening. We have the folks in the back at the door. They haven't been invited into anything. Do you care about them? Or do you only care about the progressive values? What does it mean to be progressive when you're not actually living out your values? Sitting down, I'm gonna ask you to stand up if next year you will only be at Netroots if it is truly committed to its values. You can stand up now.
So Netroots is coming to Philadelphia next year. And that's my city. And I'm gonna tell you, so all of those things that you didn't know before, there's reasons that you didn't know them, there's reasons that that information wasn't shared with you. And part of it is because the people from here weren't in the decision-making positions to make sure that that information was being distributed in the way that it should be, and that the panels were being organized in a way that was not competitive. And you know, when it comes to going into the city of Philadelphia, I mean, I don't know if you know that Philadelphia is the poorest large city in the country. You know, it's a beautiful city, but it's also a city that has a lot of suffering, and that suffering is compounded by the fact that for everybody, it seems invisible. You know, there are a lot of the communities all around, outside of the center of Philadelphia, a lot of neighborhoods where there are people who have all kinds of skills and gifts and have all kinds of answers to and solutions to the problems that we face in the city of Philadelphia, who need to be actually invited, involved, and a part of what's going on when people are having these conversations and trying to figure out what kind of policy needs to be put up. So one of the things that we are expecting is that there's going to be some shifting around the leadership and when it comes to the development of the future Netroots stations organizations. So when you stood up and you said that you are, when those of you who stood up and said that you are going to stand for, that you're not going to be attending future Netroots nations unless it actually is representing the principles, then we need to be clear about what that means so that you know what you should be looking for. And one of the things that you should be looking for is some major shifts in the leadership. So the leadership should be demonstrating that there are people from the frontline communities that are the people who are making the predominant and primary decisions. When it comes to who's on these plenaries, when it comes to these panels, when it comes to how these panels are scheduled and organized, even where they're located in a building, because there is no reason for, Montague, for your panel to be off in some back corner that nobody's going to be able to find. So when it comes to that sort of decision making, the people who are making those decisions need to be the people whose lives are most affected by what it is that the progressive community claims is important. And when the progressive community is saying that we are the most left community, we had a panel called Dear White Progressives, and one of the things we talked about was the fact that progressive spaces are not safe for Black people and for sun-kissed people.
Yes.
But that conversation was had in a very small room with a very small group of people. Why isn't that kind of a conversation being had with everybody so that those kinds of spaces can be made safe for the sun-kissed people who are the people who are most vulnerable in this country, and especially within the context of this administration that everybody claims to be so upset about? So we're expecting that if there is not a shift to the leadership, that no one in this room will be coming to Philadelphia for a Netroots Nation conference. What are other things that people should be looking for?
The first things first. I see some of you are uncomfortable. That white fragility is showing. That white fragility is showing. Those white tears are showing. But guess what? I'm ready to drink them. Because we are going to be on the board. You're going to let us on the board. And you're going to fight for us to be on the board of Netroots. You're going to fight for us to be a part of Not just to take control, but to work together. Not just to take control, but to work together. Make sure that you understand that every time you take our space, when you walk up to us and say you want to ask us something, do you understand how degrading that is? That you pick us out of the blue because we're that black person you happen to see that you might just want to be in your picture to have a splash of color? It's not cool, y'all. Y'all walk past us, look through us. We talking to people, and y'all walking in front of us and talking to who we're talking to. Who are you? Are you not a human being? Are we not human beings? That's not rhetorical. Are you a human being? Do you see us as human beings?
Yes.
Do you see black people as human beings?
Yes.
Do black lives matter?
Yes.
Brown lives matter?
Yes.
Do better.
And last, but certainly not least, we need to make sure that our candidates are actually supporting us. So folks like AOC, when she come on the stage, need to make sure that she's actually supporting black and brown people. We need to make sure that anyone who comes on this stage actually represents all of the values and not just some of the values.
Hey.
If you're not progressive on Palestine, you're not progressive. If you're not progressive on queer rights, you're not progressive. If you are not progressive on black rights, you're not progressive. If you're coming into this space, make sure damn well you better be progressive.
One thing I want to ask you all, we want people to know that they are being held accountable around issues of racial justice. So from now on, whenever you hear a candidate speak, we need you to demand that you understand where they stand as it relates to racial justice. We are tired of this conversation that's trying to say that it's class is not race. That's bullshit. We all know it.